What was that? I'm gonna delete that. Let's get started. We're gonna be doing brake pad replacement on this. We are going to be replacing brake pads on this car. So you guys stay here with me as we do this brake pad replacement. Trying to edit the title. All right, we're gonna get started on this. We gotta put some gloves on. Trying to see how we're gonna do this. Sit the phone down. How's it going out there? Oh, we gotta get a new pair of gloves now. We're gonna start loosening up those lug nuts and replacing those brake pads on this car. So we're gonna break loose the wheel. Now we gotta jack up the car and loosen up the wheel, as we say. Time to loosen up that wheel. Then we're gonna be replacing with the brake pads. Have you guys ever replaced brake pads on your vehicles? On this particular car, we're gonna be replacing the rear brake pads. That heard some noise starting from here. I think the wear is starting to rub on the rotor. So we're gonna take this off and we're gonna take a look and see. And we did get OEM brake pads. Crazy with these cars nowadays, they're easier to work on, the older style. Now with anything newer nowadays, you gotta get scanners to release the electronic parking brake, and then if you replace brake pads, now you gotta have a scanner to reset the brake pads so the computer know you have new. They're just making it harder and harder for anyone to be able to work on their own vehicles nowadays. So as we loosen up those lug nuts, time to take see how much love we got on these puppies. What's up, Wasso? How you doing? Or Sergio, how you doing? How's everything? So we're just gonna do a pass lap on this car. This is my daily beater. So I think this side's still good. It's kind of weird. I think the other side, oh, maybe this side's starting to rub. No, can't really tell. But next step is to basically, we gotta remove the spring, and that's 2 7s. 7 Allen, so I think I brought a screwdriver flathead. Let's see. Sure did. Some of these are pretty straightforward. The spring comes right off. It's like an anti-vibration spring. Then we're gonna loosen up this. There's these dust caps that go back there. Then we're gonna remove. Then from there there's an Allen back here. 7mm Allen, we gotta remove. That's the next step. On these cars, it does have a parking brake to the piston, which is mechanical, not electronic. So kind of like some of the Fords for the rears, you gotta use a special tool, like applies pressure and twist at the same time to basically push back the piston. Some cars, before you even take those off, you could basically just kind of use like some type of screwdriver pry bar and pry that back. So we're gonna get the Allen with the 7. So these things are fairly easy to do. This is on a 2005 Volvo S40. So it's pretty straightforward. Just let's get the bottom one now. Same thing. You guys remember? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. But since the bolt's facing us, it's gonna be opposite, so we're gonna be going clockwise from our direction. But if you see it, it'll be counterclockwise. So basically, we're just removing those 2 slider pins, bolts that mount into the caliper bracket. Here we go. Either you can take them out all the way, or just leave them hanging there. One thing I highly recommend, that you clean these pins up real good, make them nice and shiny, get rid of any of this stuff right there. So whenever you lube them, put them back on, they don't get stuck. A lot of people don't realize when they start getting stuck, these slider pins, or prevents it from moving evenly, you're gonna get uneven brake pad wear on your brake pads. And then sometimes the inner pad will, because that's what's pushing against the piston, it's not moving very much. One pad's gonna wear out faster than the other ones. So once I have my slider pins out, this one I'll have to pry. I know my parking brake's off, it's just gonna be a little bit tough to get off. Since just kind of work it back and forth. It's crazy how much, I mean, I'm an automotive technician, but it's crazy nowadays some of the quotes we see on cars to do brake jobs, something that's fairly easy. I've seen cars that it's almost close to $1,000 just to do a set of brake pads. Or a brake job, I should say. Parts have gone up. So now, let's see. Just gotta play with it. Just gotta give it the good old. Let's see. I'll bring you guys point of view right now. I'm trying to take this off. Holy smoke. There we go. It's not that bad. Some weird pattern going on there, but nothing too crazy. That's weird. I think it's just from prying it on it. You just want to make sure you take a look at everything, inspect it. So there's two methods: either use a special tool, or you can get some long needle nose pliers. They basically, depending on the manufacturer, some you got to go clockwise, some counterclockwise as you apply pressure. You just got to see. So let me look for the right tool adapter, which I have here. Different people make these kits. This one's from Astro, part number 78618. And as I told you guys, this kit is complete. It just, since I use it all the time, everything's all over the place. And you got, of course, all your little adapters there. Or sometimes, you know, you let people borrow your tools. Actually, I have everything. Pretty surprised that there's nothing missing. There's always something missing. Let's write a pull real quick. Let's see. Let's do. We start a little. All right, so now what we got to do is get the right adapter. It's gonna be one of the small ones, I think. Is it this one? I think, since I pretty much just work on these type of cars, I think this is gonna be the adapter for it. Yep, sure enough, that's the one. Who would have known? So make sure we push all the way in. Typically a brake job like this at the dealership, or when you work at an independent shop with all the power tools and everything, you could pretty much get each side done between 5 to 10 minutes. Get both of them done less than, hope between, you know, I'm just averaging people's time, but I can get it done faster. Anywhere between 20-30 minutes to get one of these sides done. So now we're trying to put this in here. Man, this thing's fully retracted. How are we gonna do this? So that's another thing too. So the problem is your tool might not fit. So let's see, what am I gonna do? So I think what I'm gonna do is, since it's fully, I'm gonna have to take this off for now. I'm gonna have to just manually push it in. See right there? As I'm rotating it, you pretty much the same setup. So let me get a good grip. It's hard to do this with two hands. I'm gonna try to set the phone up area where it's easier to see. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then this should work a lot better. that's perfect. Just gotta innovate. Get a closer shot. And we're just gonna, using our tool, same thing, we're just gonna be twist and push at the same time. So slowly go, you just gotta apply, make sure it's applying proper pressure. There we go, it's going. Now, let's see where tool fits in there now. Oh yeah, perfect. So now what we do is, this thing itself is gonna apply pressure. Trying to see right here, it says, just reminded I needed to change the drums on my 01 Dakota. Man, drums, how many people could work on drums nowadays? That's a good. Brunze, how you doing? See, now we gotta go. Let's start another one. So what do you guys prefer to do? Break. So I'm doing a quick pull right here. What would you guys rather place? Oh. What brake pad do you guys prefer? So whenever you guys do brake pads, what do you guys prefer? To do brake pads every day or to do brake shoes? Well, nowadays I don't think. There we go. This thing's going in slowly but surely. So as we apply, as it spins, we got to line up this nut here. So it applies pressure and we're able to rotate, and it's basically pushing back the piston. So there it goes. Just make sure you apply pressure, 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 pressure. There we go. And you'll feel it stop. Once it stops, you're good to go. Just like that. Thank you guys for everybody joining in, watching. We're just doing like we're doing brake pads for the rear of this vehicle. It's a 2005 Volvo S40. So here you go. As you guys can see right here, we're fully retracted all the way. So now what I could do is I could remove my tool. Gotta loosen up this. So this is done. I'm gonna go get some brake lube, my brake pads. And today we're using Volvo grease, and this is a Volvo car. You can't really get parts for these cars at your local auto parts stores. So I mean, I had to get these from the dealership. They're about $60. So once you have your brake pads, you have a set of, a set of two. So you got to make sure you know what goes where. So there's two different brake pads. One's an inner, one's an outer. And of course you see the spring little here. So one way to really find out is like you check your old ones. If you pull them out and you didn't realize what brake pads went to what, it's fairly easy to figure it out. I'm trying to get my old brake pads to show you guys. I don't know where I left them. Where are my old brake pads? Huh, they're just here. Oh, here they are. So if you just don't know where, it's fairly easy. You just gotta use a little bit of common sense sometimes. If you pull them out, you're unaware of what went what. It's fairly easy. So the one with the spring up here, you see the round part there? That's because that's what the piston used to push. So of course that's gonna be this one. This one goes on the inside where the piston pushes it. And then there's two notches there. So many people get confused because they see the two notches here and they assume those two notches line up with what's up Bentley Potts? How's it going? So yeah, you see those two notches there? So some people assume that's where the brake pad goes, but what I've seen is when you do that, when people tend to put this brake pad in the inside, it wears unevenly, so you get brake rattle. So that's the last thing you want. So my question is, whoever voted that they prefer to do brake shoes, why? Why would you prefer to do brake shoes over brake pads? So we're gonna get some brake cleaner. We have some here. I got my brake cleaner here. Just trying to find something to get a piece of cardboard to put underneath here since I'm in my garage. So you just want to spray those contact points. You don't have to get too crazy with it. So just, it could be parts cleaner, brake cleaner. And then from there, it should dry fairly quick. What I like to do is get my brake grease. You don't want to go too excessive. Just kind of put some each dab. Right there, right there, right there. All 4 contact points. And then from there, I like to spread a little bit. I try to go out, not into the rotor, out. See right there. Just like that. What's up, Garage Monkey? How's it going? It's been a while since I did a live, huh? All right, so once we got that, we got our brake pads. And also on these cars, just double check in the back. These, of course, they go on each side, but sometimes the outer pad's directional. It could be right side or left side. And what happens, sometimes they have a taper area, the direction, you know, the rotor goes, just to prevent, you know, I think noise or something. So this one doesn't, this one goes in the outside, just like that. And then this pad goes right here. Slides right in, just like I gotta clean those things up. They're a little dirty. I'm gonna clean them with a little bit of brake cleaner, car cleaner. You just want to remove any of that garnish or old grease that basically kind of baked on there. For anyone here, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Leave anything in the comments or on the chat. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Or if you guys like these type of videos where we do like do-it-yourself repairs. So once I lube up I'm gonna lube up these with brake grease. Here's another one. Here's my other pin. That. A lot of people, especially if you haven't done this for a while, I highly recommend you start this by hand. A lot of people use power tools. Next thing you know, they strip. Cause you just gotta make sure you're going straight. Some people, like I said, like to use power tools, like an electric ratchet, and then they mess up the threads. And if you do, I personally don't like fixing repairs on these brackets, because once I feel you mess them up, you go for the integrity of the thread itself. So once you go there, just nice and snug. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button. There we go, just like that. I always double check the top one again just to make sure. Move this back and forth a little bit. So now what I want to do, I want to put the dust caps in the rear. These are little dust caps here. There's one. There's two. And then this spring's fairly easy to put on there. This spring goes here. It's like, I think it's like anti-rattle spring. So I like to go like that, and then with maybe with my thumb, push this one in and then pull this one back. Just make sure that they're seated. And once you're good, the rotors, since they're loose, there's no bolts that hold it there. So I'm gonna put the wheel back on, and then we're also gonna do the other side. So you guys wanna stick around and watch me do the other side? More than welcome to watch that. But since I gotta take out the jack, I gotta put the wheel on here. This wheel. Here we go. Start all my lug nuts by hand. Anyone out there, you guys having any side projects you guys got to do this weekend? Let's see. Oh, I thought I locked the lug nut. I hate when I lose my nuts. My lug nuts. Just jammed it there. Okay, and paste it. I'm gonna read the comments right now. I'm just gonna put this on here, and just make sure whenever you guys do brake jobs, before you guys take off, make sure you guys pump the brake pedal several times, like when you first start the cars and park, before you're heading out. Especially if you're doing front and rear. So I see when people do that, and the next thing you know, it takes like maybe a couple pumps before they even pump up, and they all freak out. So this side's good. Now we're gonna do, this is the passenger side. So I'm gonna take my stuff to the other side. And we're gonna do the other side. Let's see what just jammed it in. Let's see, Garage Monkey. What's up, Garage Monkey? Says just jammed it in there. I'll end up replacing the thing next time I do the brakes. Nice. Let's see. I just did that on my Subi. What kind of Subi do you have, Garage Monkey? Subi. I used to work on a lot of Subarus back in when I used to be at the independent shop. But after I went to a dealership and we just work on a specific type of vehicle, and I'll be torquing those later. I just gotta do other brakes. Once I switch to a dealership, I only work on pretty much just one manufacturer or one type of cars. Let's see. I'm gonna move directions here. I'm gonna try to give you guys a better point of view. I gotta get me those Ray-Bans. Let's see right here. Is that pretty good view for you guys? Yeah, I gotta get me those Ray-Ban glasses. You guys can see like the point of view when I'm watching, like from my head. Now I'm gonna bring the jack over, and I gotta jack this side up. Forcer, and I say, man, so you're a Subi guy, or? See, you got two of them there. How many Subarus have you owned? I think this is the one. Oh yeah, I could see it. It just started to go metal to metal. I can already see. And it just started like 2 days ago. I was driving on the freeway, and next thing you know, when I brake, I made like had to brake pretty hard. Somebody cut me off, and I heard like a grinding, and I had the radio on. So like, there's two ways we could fix this: replace their brake pads, or just turn up the volume where I won't hear it. Well, at that instance, the only thing I could do is just put the volume up, which I knew was the rears. It mostly uses the brakes up front, but I think since I brake pretty hard during that time, that's why I heard it. Like, well, this is my daily. I let it sit there for a day or two. I got the parts, and now we're here doing the brake pads. Make sure you guys hit the like button. If you guys are not subscribed, want to see more content like this, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. You can see right here, it barely started touching. You'll be amazed about how many people like their rotors are like very thin, they're metal to metal, like, oh, this noise just started yesterday. It's like, either, how could that happen? Let's see, it says right here, STI, 5 so far, only blew up 2. Man, 5, huh? Those are good cars. I remember when I used to work on them, I didn't have very many issues with them. I did maybe a couple head gaskets, a lot of timing belts. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do the same thing, remove this anti-rattle clip. You can pretty much remove this with your hand. And the dust caps. Other dust cap. This car also needs rear shocks. I gotta do the rear shocks next. You can kind of see this thing. One way to know when your rear shocks are going bad, if your rear tire and the inside, you start to get cupping. You could just put your hand around, like go around the tire, and you kind of feel like the little bumps. That's when they're weak. So I gotta replace that. You can see right there. So I'm gonna remove those 2 7s, and then this right here. So let's get you guys up closer. Yeah, I gotta get those glasses. You guys think that would be a good idea? You guys get to see everything I do. From my point of view. All right, so now we're gonna be taking off the 7s. It's a 7 Allens. Of course, we're off. Hopefully, oh, there we go, right there. Just like that. We're gonna loosen up the 7s. See what Garage Monkey says. Garage Monkey Mechanic says, yeah, I was looking at them, maybe get to GoPro to mesh the film together over one audio. Hey, that'd be a good idea. Definitely a good idea. Thank you, Garage. I'll look into that. I think I've been wanting to do more lives. I do a lot of work like this. I just been putting more excuses, but I think now with, I don't know if you guys are in the States or anywhere, but now the days are becoming longer, meaning there's more daylight. I hate when I leave home, it's dark, get home, it's dark. That sucks. But when it's when you get daylight, when you get home, you can do more with that. There we go. So that's off. I gotta do still a lot of things I can do in this car. I'll probably start doing videos, just kind of. I mean, who wants to buy a new car nowadays with the price of them? That's insane. It's a joke. And I think cars are just gonna get more expensive with everything going around, especially any car that needs to get moved from a different state. We'll see how things work out. No more affordable cars. Not only that, now the cars that nowadays the cars that come out. Now the cars that they're just, I mean, I don't want to call them junk, but just the quality of them, just, it's like you get new cars that are so, you know, you shouldn't have any problems with them, and they're constantly at the dealership. And it's always like some dumb complaint or something that, so here we go. I just started. So it looked like the outer patch was the one that says, yeah. Garage Monkey Mechanic says, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm all the way north in the States. Sun sets at 5 in the winter and 10 minutes and at 10 in the summer. Man, that's great. Luckily, I think for us, the latest it sets is maybe around 9, 8, close to 9, but 10 would be great. So here's the brake pad, the one I'm replacing. I actually had, oh yeah, here we go. I think it's, oh, here it is right here. The brake pad was wearing unevenly. It's tapered, as you guys can see right there. So now the question is, what causes tapered brake pads? Do you guys know? I think one of the causes is that the pins start to bind. Like one of them gets stuck. It's not moving. And then so I think if this was like this, the bottom one was binding. And then when it pushes, it's only this one, the top one, that has movement. So that's why when I say make sure you guys lube up your pins, earlier that I was talking, that's a perfect example. Because if you don't clean those up very well, and when it's dirty, it gets stuck. Because there's only one piston. So it can be like if it was 2 pistons or something, I'd be like, hey, maybe it's a piston that's binding. But in this case, I believe a dirty pin was seized, not seized, but dirty and not letting it free pretty good. And you can see the tapered. Oh, I removed the pin separately. Well, I can't tell what was what, but perfect example. This pin, the top pin, I mean, I can't say it was a top pin for sure, but you could see one's cleaner than the other one. So of course we're gonna clean it up with some parts cleaner, and then we are going to lube them up properly. But that's the noise. That's where the noise was coming from. I guess it wasn't crazy. Just like I said, just started. Well, I mean, I guess it just started. I commute. Man, that's pretty. Oh well. I got my monies out of that brake pad. So we're gonna do the same thing we did over there. We're gonna actually, I'm gonna retract the piston first, or push it back, I should say. Where's my tool? And I think this one might even be a little bit harder since all the way back. I'm gonna have to manually start pushing it. So if you guys haven't seen, there's the 2 pins there. Use a special tool to put that there, and you twist it. You twist and push at the same time. I've seen it where if you don't have this tool, you can buy needle nose pliers, or you can get long needle nose pliers, and you can start turning and rotating at the same time. There it goes, twisting. Oop. Have you guys ever done these before? The the ones where you have to push back the pistons. How many have you guys have done of those? So we're almost done with this brake job. So I think maybe we'll get it done. So now that we're able to go in, I still gotta go manually a little bit more. Actually, no, I think we're good. We got it. So what do you guys think about the manufacturers nowadays, what they're doing? You know, where you have to basically take your car in for certain like brake pad replacements. You know, back in the days like this, you know, you get your older vehicle, you get your simple brake pads, simple brake job, just replace them, you're ready to go. Now with the newer cars, like I said earlier, especially with the rear brakes, you have electronic parking brakes. So you have to basically disable the system. And basically perform it. And then even like I think like GM, now with GM, you gotta tell the computer that, hey, guess what? Brake pads have been replaced. If you don't, it goes into limp mode. And guess where you guys gotta take it now? To the dealership. Everything has to be taken to dealership now. Okay, so here we go. We're applying pressure and rotating. Applying pressure and rotating. And then, like I said, you guys will know when to stop because it's not gonna go anywhere. Just you won't be able to turn anymore. And then you'll physically be able to see that the piston's all the way pushed back. One thing I recommend sometimes is you spray WD-40 and that boot doesn't bind. Sometimes what happens, you're twisting it because the piston's twisting and it binds, and then you could rip the boot. You don't want to rip the boot. All right, so we're almost there. All right, we're there. So now we remove our tool. And we want to clean up that area. We gotta get some brake cleaner. I work at GM, huh? Nice. So my question for you, if that's true, on a 2021 Silverado 1500, if I replace the brake pads and I'm resetting, reset that I replace them, is that true? Is that what's gonna happen? It's gonna go into limp mode. And now the question is, can I use a generic scanner to do that, or does it have to be like specific? There you go. Make sure we're clean. At this point, like I said, this is my daily beater. I know I just barely started going into it. I know the rotors are within spec. I am not gonna replace the rotors at this time. Since it's my daily car, my beater, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal, especially because it's the rear. If it's the front, I'll definitely think about it, because you know, at the times you could get brake pulsation, hot spots. But since it's the rear, we should be good. Next thing you want to do is put some brake lube. Oh, I'm going a little too excessive on this one, but no worries, we'll clean that up. You just want brake lube going into your on your rotor. There we go. Now we get our brake pads. Make sure you guys don't forget to hit the like button. I see there's 14 of you guys in here. Just double tap your screen or hit that like button. I'll really appreciate it. So here we go. Like I mentioned earlier, there's an inside and outside pad. Always check whenever you move your old ones. Already know which one's which one. If you don't know, for example, this one that are moved with the 2 notches, you can see the caliper imprints from this side right here, and then the inside pad with the spring has a piston markings here where it gets pushed on. So if you guys kind of forgot, like, hey, which one goes to where? And always make sure that you know there's right and left. So now that we're nice and clean, it's time to put this back on. Some of these you could fight putting them on because of the cable, but if you retract everything pretty good, you should be good. I'm cleaning up my pins. I'm gonna lube them up. Make sure you lube up your pins, especially if you see any abnormal wear. Make sure they're clean, no debris. That could cause it, like I said, that could be a big issue when it comes to oh, here we go. When it comes to brake pad life. I know nowadays everything pretty much has lifetime warranty, so I know some auto parts stores try to be competitive and recommend lifetime brake pads on certain models of brake pads. So we're gonna get our 7 back here. And I always recommend some people go cheap brake pads. Of course, I understand if you're going through like where you just have to squeeze by and maybe you just need them, you could go with the cheap one. But the problem with sometimes with the cheap ones is that they're made out of, you know, the material, and they just start to make a lot of noise. Especially as you know, as they get older and wear, or they get hotter, they just start to make a lot of noise. We just want to make sure we go straight here. So that's what we're doing. I like to push. If you feel any binding as you're going in, just make sure you go back. Don't go any further forward, because at that point you'll probably be messing up the threads. Just give it a nice and tight. I always go back to the bottom one, just like that. And one thing I like to do, just kind of check it over. I like to make sure that that's seated all the way. If you don't see any threads on that pin, then you're all the way in. Make sure your pads are seated right. Make sure that the spring's not facing upward or down. So there we go. So now that we do that, next thing you want to do is put the, but let's see anything in the comments. Let's see, GM said you should bring able to do with the generic scanner by sometime. Oh, let's see, trying to read the comments here. It says, for example, my X tool won't let me command certain functions. It sends the command, but the vehicle won't accept it, huh? So I only have to get like a bi-directional scanner. It says, try to remove this pull thing and pull right here. Garage Monkey said you should bring let's see what to do with the generic scanner, but sometimes it won't work and you're gonna have to take it in. I don't know if it puts it into limp mode, though I imagine it would. Yeah, that could be the case. Like I've seen so many people, there's ways. So many people say, hey, how do I know if I have a electronic parking brake? Well, it's easy. If you have a button in the car with the P, you know, when you park your car, you push it and you kind of hear that noise. If you have to physically, like on Toyota or something, there's a pedal, a brake pedal you have to push in, or a lever in the center console, then that's when you know it's mechanical. And some cars with the rear brake pads, you do have that mechanical, like the tool we use to push that piston back, and it's something like this. I'll put down the tool on the video description so you guys want to buy the tool, but you can buy it pretty much anywhere. Amazon, Harbor Freight. There you go. All right, so we're gonna put now that we know we're on there, just kind of double check everything. We're gonna put the dust caps back on there. Make sure you always guys put these back on there, because You don't want anything going in there. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I know there's 38 of you guys in here. We're only at 5 likes. Double tap your screen or hit the like button. Let's get these videos out, please. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So there it is. So once you're here, one thing I like to do and inspect, especially as the car gets older, whenever you do a brake job, just inspect your brake lines for anything cracking, stress cracks. So this will be your brake line right here. It's hard to tell, it's just too bright with the light. So the brake line, I like to check the joints here, where it goes in at that crimp. Make sure that there's no leaks. I like to inspect it anywhere, any junction point, because sometimes that's where there's movement and that could create a weak point. Everything looks nice and clean, and just kind of inspect everything. Everything looks good. So at this point, we are done with the brake job. Everything's good. One thing you want to do once you get in the car, before you take off, make sure you guys press the brake pedal several times. You don't want to take off and the car won't brake. Oh, eventually will brake, but you know, you want to make sure there's something parked in front of you or something that you don't hit it. We will be making more videos like these. Hopefully you guys like it. Make sure you guys hit the like button on this video, and we'll do something like this, point of view repairs. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Hope this was helpful. Thank you guys for spending time with me, and once again, we'll see you guys on the next one.